Life has a funny way of concealing its most valuable lessons beneath layers of discomfort. The insights that chafe are often the very ones that propel us forward, sharpen our edges, and ultimately lead to a more fulfilling existence. Yet, let's be honest, most of us would prefer a gentler narrative, a world where progress is painless and growth is guaranteed. And who can blame us? It's easier to drift along on a sea of comfortable assumptions than to confront the stark realities that shape our journey. But here you are, contemplating a different path. Or are you? Take a moment. Are you truly pushing your boundaries, or is there a subtle resistance, a quiet voice whispering that it's all too hard? We settle into routines, justifying stagnation, but deep down a part of us knows there's more. The obstacle isn't circumstance or opportunity, it's the lens through which we view ourselves and the world. Potential isn't unlocked by avoiding discomfort, it's forged within it. So let's discard the soothing lies. No sugarcoating, no soft landings, just the raw truths that will ignite your progress if you're willing to embrace them. These aren't revelations that will soothe your ego, they demand introspection and action. But if you lean into the discomfort, you'll discover they are the building blocks of a life lived at its fullest. 1. Talent alone is never enough. Inhale deeply and let this settle in. Raw talent is just the starting point. For some, this is a necessary dose of humility. For others, a validation of their persistent efforts. Society often glorifies innate ability, painting a picture of effortless success, leading us to believe that some are simply born with an edge. But the reality is that most extraordinary achievements are the result of relentless dedication, often exceeding natural gifts. Your inherent aptitude for music won't compose a symphony on its own. Your natural charisma won't build lasting relationships without effort and empathy. People aren't fixated on your initial potential. They're observing your commitment to honing it. Now, before your inherent skills stage a protest, let's clarify. It's not that your talents are insignificant, but they are incomplete. They are the raw materials, not the finished product. Everyone possesses a unique blend of abilities, but the distinguishing factor is the willingness to cultivate them. The athlete with natural speed who skips practice will be outpaced by the less naturally gifted but more disciplined runner. The writer with a flair for words who avoids editing will be eclipsed by the more meticulous craftsman. The weight of relying solely on talent is a fragile burden, isn't it? Imagine the freedom of knowing that your effort is the true differentiator. When you realize that sustained work trumps initial advantage, it's not a devaluation of your gifts, but an empowerment to truly maximize them. You're free to struggle, to iterate, to push beyond perceived limits because progress isn't solely reliant on what you were born with. And the most empowering part? When you stop waiting for your talent to magically manifest success, you make room for the grit and determination that truly define achievement. Ironically, this is how you unlock your full potential, not by celebrating initial sparks, but by fueling the enduring flame of effort. 2. External validation is a fleeting fix. If progress were solely about praise, the loudest voices would always be the most successful. But life has a subtle irony. True growth often occurs in the quiet spaces, independent of external applause. Fairness is a tempting concept, suggesting that good work automatically earns recognition. But the reality is that the world often operates on its own, sometimes baffling rhythms, indifferent to your need for pats on the back. The insightful contribution that goes unnoticed. The innovative idea attributed to another. The tireless effort that yields no immediate acclaim. Remember that time you poured your soul into a project, only to see it met with silence or worse, someone else taking the credit. It stings. It's a bitter pill. But recognition isn't the metric of true progress. Impact is. The sooner you detach your sense of worth from external approval, the sooner you can focus on the intrinsic satisfaction of growth. So what do you do when your efforts go unacknowledged? You continue, you refine, you internalize the feedback that matters, the lessons learned, the skills sharpened, the progress made. Not because it's easy, but because your internal compass guides you. Picture a sculptor working in solitude. Do they abandon their art if no one immediately praises their chisel strokes? Or do they continue, driven by the vision within? Imagine a seed pushing through the soil. Does it wait for applause before reaching for the sun? Complaining about the lack of validation is like demanding applause from an empty theater. It changes nothing. Instead, shift your focus. Use the lack of external noise as an opportunity for deeper introspection. Resilience isn't about craving praise, it's about finding your motivation within. When you stop expecting external validation, you free yourself to pursue mastery for its own sake. You learn to find joy in the process, not just the accolades. And in doing so, you discover a self-reliance you never knew you possessed. Treat the silent moments as opportunities for deeper growth, and you'll find that while recognition may be fleeting, the internal satisfaction of progress endures. 3. Avoiding failure stifles growth. This one might feel counterintuitive, a direct challenge to our ingrained desire for success. You strive for perfection, aiming to avoid missteps, to present a flawless image. Yet despite your best efforts, setbacks are inevitable. And that's precisely where the learning happens. The truth is, trying to sidestep failure is like trying to learn to swim without getting wet. You'll remain on the shore, watching others navigate the water, never experiencing the freedom of movement. Let's be honest. How many significant leaps forward have followed a period of comfortable stagnation? Probably few. Progress often emerges from the ashes of mistakes, from analyzing what went wrong and adjusting our course. Instead of viewing failure as a definitive end, see it as vital data, a course correction in disguise. Stop berating yourself for missteps and start dissecting them for insights. Embrace the discomfort of not knowing, of getting it wrong, because that's where the real learning resides. Imagine a scientist conducting experiments. Do they abandon their research after a failed attempt? Or do they analyze the results, refine their hypothesis, and try again? Imagine a child learning to walk. Do they give up after falling the first few times? The fear of failure is a powerful inhibitor, but it's also a choice. You can choose to let it paralyze you, or you can choose to view it as a stepping stone. Embrace the stumbles, the miscalculations, the moments where things don't go as planned. They are not indicators of your inadequacy, but rather signposts on the path to mastery. Your greatest breakthroughs will often follow your most significant blunders. 4. Playing it safe. Limits your horizons. Change isn't a comfortable invitation, it's often a jarring disruption, shaking the foundations of our carefully constructed routines. We cling to the familiar, seeking the illusion of control, terrified of stepping outside the boundaries of our comfort zones. Yet, ironically, life's richest experiences and most significant growth often lie just beyond those self-imposed limits. The status quo offers a deceptive sense of security, but it also breeds stagnation. Resisting the urge to venture into the unknown is like staying anchored in a safe harbor, never experiencing the vastness of the ocean. Embrace the discomfort of the unfamiliar, for it is within those uncharted territories that your potential truly expands. Imagine trying to discover new landscapes while remaining within the confines of your own backyard. Impossible, isn't it? Growth demands exploration, a willingness to step into situations where the outcome is uncertain. Yes, there will be risks, potential for missteps, and moments of unease. But the reward for courageously navigating the unknown far outweighs the temporary discomfort. Step away from the well-trodden path. Challenge your assumptions. Embrace new experiences, even if they feel daunting. You are not meant to remain static. You are designed to evolve, to explore, to push the boundaries of your capabilities. The most fulfilling journeys often begin with a leap of faith into the unknown. 5. Your mindset dictates your reality. Let's dispel a common misconception. Progress isn't solely about external circumstances. It's profoundly influenced by your internal landscape. It's not about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring legitimate challenges, but about cultivating a perspective that empowers you to navigate them effectively. Imagine two individuals facing the same obstacle. One sees an insurmountable barrier, succumbing to frustration. The other sees a challenge to be overcome, a problem to be solved. Same situation, vastly different outcomes, driven by mindset. This choice isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice, a constant recalibration of your internal narrative. Focus on what you can control, your effort, your attitude, your response, rather than fixating on external factors beyond your influence. See setbacks not as definitive failures, but as opportunities for learning and adaptation. Cultivate gratitude for the progress you've made, no matter how small. Imagine two gardeners tending the same plot of land. One focuses on the weeds, lamenting the imperfections. The other focuses on nurturing the seedlings, celebrating each sign of growth. Same garden, different perspectives, vastly different results. Progress is like that. It's not about waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about cultivating the internal environment that fosters growth, even amidst imperfection. Choose to see challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, and limitations as invitations for creative solutions. After all, isn't the power to shape your perception the most potent tool you possess? Life doesn't offer a guaranteed path to progress, but it does present opportunities for growth disguised as uncomfortable truths. These insights may sting, even feel discouraging, but they are also incredibly empowering. They strip away the illusions that hold you captive and illuminate the path toward realizing your full potential. Are you ready to embrace them? To lean into the discomfort that precedes true growth? The decision, as always, rests with you.